Immediately after I was laid off, I applied to over 100 jobs and barely heard anything back. And if you're over 35 and stuck in the same cycle, I get it. Today, I'm gonna show you the exact steps that I took to use ChatGPT to land more interviews. And stick around for step number 3 because that completely shifted my confidence. Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Xavier. I was able to bounce back 4 months after a layoff, and I'm hoping I can help you do the same. So let's get into it. All right, let's face it, okay? The job market in 2025 is diabolical, and it might even be the same way for 2026. Recruiters spend on average just 7 seconds scanning each resume, and applicant tracking systems or ATSs get you booted out of there before a human even sees your application or your resume, right? That's why I had to turn to my friend ChatGPT. I call it Chatty, not as a magic wand, but to give me a little bit of an edge, saving me hours and also helping me show up a little bit more put together in interviews. All right, so on to step number 1. The first way I used ChatGPT was to help me tailor resumes. At first, I was sending the same exact resume to every single job that I was applying to. And of course, that got me either rejected with the quickness or ignored. Instead of sending the same exact resume to every single job that I was applying to, I copied and pasted my resume along with the job description into ChatGPT, and then I asked, please rewrite my resume bullet points to highlight the top skills in this job description. Thanks. And of course, I say please and thank you to Chatty because why not be nice, right? So then ChatGPT pulled those keywords directly out of the job description and started to rewrite my resume bullet points to align with that job description. And I did the same thing with cover letters when it was necessary, asking Chatty to pull down my top experience and skills into 3 paragraphs for my cover letter. And as a result, recruiters really started noticing. So you might be asking yourself, why does this matter? For me, instead of it taking me hours to tailor a resume for a job or for a couple of jobs, this literally just took me minutes to do. Next up was interview prep. I'd share the job description into ChatGPT and then I'd ask it, what behavioral interview questions might the recruiter or hiring manager ask me for this role? And then it spit out a few questions. And then I practice answering those questions using the STAR method, and that's situation, task, action, and result. I have a video where I go into detail about how I use ChatGPT to help me with the STAR method for answering questions. I have a screenshot right here of that video, and you can check out that video after this one. So then ChatGPT acted as a mock interviewer, right? Like pushing back on my answers if they were too vague, or helping me refine the story that I wanted to tell. After doing these practice rounds with Chatty, I walked into interviews feeling more confident, definitely better prepared, and also more clear about the story that I wanted to tell. And if you're still here, don't miss this next step, because it was the one that completely flipped my confidence in interviews. And that's step number 3, where I use Chatty for company research. And this step right here is underrated if you ask me. I asked ChatGPT to help me summarize the company's culture, their mission, their vision, and also recent news. And I even asked it to summarize 3 thoughtful questions that I can ask the hiring manager for this role, right? And just by doing this one tiny thing and asking those questions about the company and really placing myself in the seat there, this made me stand out, right? So instead of asking generic questions in an interview like, what's the team like? Or, things like that, I asked more questions about the product roadmap for the company, or even the cultural values that the company has, and how I can be helpful and what I can bring to the table to help them move the needle for the company. And that alone made recruiters and hiring managers remember me from interviews. The next step is I used ChatGPT to completely overhaul my LinkedIn. When it comes to personal branding, and we hear this word a lot, at this point it's a buzzword, But when it comes to personal branding, you want to make sure that who you are shines through. You also want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile reflects the job that you want, right? And not the job that you currently have, especially if you're looking to make a career pivot, right? So after I put my newly revamped resume into ChatGPT, I asked it to please give me a professional headline that shows I'm a product marketer with AI expertise, right? And I'm using product marketing as an example because that's my role. LinkedIn only gives you 220 characters in that space at the top of your profile page. So you want to make sure you maximize it as much as you possibly can, packing it full of keywords and making it searchable. Then Chatty spit out like 10 or so options that I can rotate between over time, because you want to make sure that you keep that section updated so that you show up in recruiter searches and you appear as active on the platform. And I even use Chatty to refine my About Me section to somewhat like streamline it and tell a more cohesive story about like my professional experiences and who I am as a person, as well as my interests. And this last step, I use ChatGPT for application questions and for follow-up emails and comms to hiring managers and recruiters. You know those,
tell us why you're a good fit, or tell us why you want to work here
types of questions and applications. Yeah, so I dropped the job description into ChatGPT and I said, hey Fran, can you come up with a 200-word response to this question, right? And in that response, highlight my top 3 skills that align with the job description. Boom, question answered. Okay. And after interviews, I asked ChatGPT to help me draft thank you and follow-up notes that were warm and professional and specific to that particular job and to that particular interview. And of course, you want to make sure that you tweak any output from ChatGPT because it is AI, right? And you don't want to sound like a robot, so make sure you tweak whatever you give it or whatever it gives you. These are small details in the grand scheme of things, but they make a big impact. And this next point might sting a little bit, but it's the truth, okay? ChatGPT is not going to hand you a job. You still need to fact check every single thing it gives you. Make sure that whatever it gives you sounds like you, and add your own stories and perspectives, your experience to that output, right? The tool is only as good as the prompts that you give it, right? The more context you give, the better the output. All right, friends. So if you're applying to jobs and hearing nothing back, these steps can help give you a boost to move you in the right direction. Now it's your turn, right? Drop a comment below and let me know which step you're gonna try first, or if you've tried all of these. And if this helped, don't forget to like and subscribe because I have more AI job search strategies coming your way. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.